The electric guitar hasn't changed much since the 50s. They're basically still the same kind of design, so all the sort of varied texture and varied sounds that you hear out of guitars in the past 70 years, a lot of it comes from these cool little boxes that people make and put on the floor. They're just charming little devices because they sit on the floor and they can have cool names and pretty colors, and they do a lot of interesting things that you already kind of associate with electric guitar, but you may not realize comes from all these little devices made by different people. Hi, I'm Jesse. You may know me from Believable Audio or 29 Pedals. I build electronics for musicians here in Los Angeles. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and I started working in bars and clubs at a young age and working in recording studios, and then eventually I moved to LA, and I've just been around audio gear and studios and musicians and stuff all my life. I had been repairing and modding stuff for a really long time and working as a bench tech, and at some point it just kind of clicked that I had learned the things I needed to learn to know how to make my own products and bring them to market. I always thought I would just stay a tech, I didn't really think I would start a brand until I woke up one morning and I had one. So morning routine, I go straight into the kitchen, I make coffee. After I've had coffee is when I'm able to plan the day. Occasionally I actually get to play music and enjoy all the instruments and stuff that are around here. 60% of the time it's wake up, coffee, workbench. Occasionally I'll take a day off and go hiking with the dog or something. So far the devices we release are functional kind of utility devices that help you inhabit your own creative process and solve sort of interfacing problems in your rig. When you're trying to do fun, cool stuff with guitars and guitar pedals and plug them all into each other, you encounter a lot of needless technical problems, and I just like to solve that for somebody so that they can kind of go back to just being creative. I just love to make really high-end, well-made stuff, and I was obsessed for a long time with old recording consoles that are really made well, and those companies they were always on the verge of going bankrupt because they just poured everything they had into the gear. And working on those things and seeing that they're still in service 40, 50 years later, still sought after 40, 50 years later, really inspired me to have my own stuff that sort of strives for that level of quality. I always want to make something that is beautiful and usable, but also very rugged and very